Parents were very, very upset about a letter that was received by the choir teacher. Now, this particular choir teacher is a black man. I want to make sure I put that out there. This black man, his name is Mr. Stephen Reeves. Now, this was out of Pleasant Run Middle School out of Cincinnati. So he had a line in the dress code that says large afros are not acceptable. Now, you're telling parents, especially black parents, that large afros are not acceptable in you being a black man. Come on, bruh. Your whole existence is not acceptable in this system of racism and white supremacy. Let's call that what it is. When they use the word tolerance, that means they're literally tolerating you. Like, oh, I got to put up with having him around. That's what the word tolerance means to me when I hear that. I don't like that word tolerance. Some people tolerate a cold. You tolerate certain sicknesses. You tolerate certain pains. It's not like you want it, but you just have to deal with it. So they're tolerating your existence literally in this country. And yet you're going to send a letter to black parents saying large afros would not be acceptable. Instead of you standing up and say, you know what? I'm going to stand up and say the right things. And yes, afros are acceptable because that's natural hair. That's not nothing that's abnormal. Now, they said that the message is sending that most parents stated that it's not okay to have your natural hair in a natural state. Obviously, he must want to be one of those people who feel that, well, you know, your hair got to be cut extremely short and edged up like mine ought to be accepted. If a black person want an afro, they can have an afro. It's just that simple. What they got to do with them singing. Now, one sister had wrote that her daughter wears an afro to school on a regular basis. She has a lot of hair. It's going to be large. That's just what her hair does. That's what our hair does as black people. A lot of people called it outlandish, what this guy was saying. Now, it ended up getting all the way up to the school district. And this is what the school district had to say about that. The school district stated that they were made aware of the guidelines and sent home the students for the upcoming chorus concert. Now, they stated that this message was not approved by the administration and does not reflect our views at all. So even the school district came by and said, wait a minute, that's not even right. So then he backdoors later and said he wants to apologize and say he's going to rewrite it. And he didn't feel that it should offend people and, you know, it wasn't his intention, etc. No, the only reason you apologize, bruh, Mr. Stephen Reeves, is that you were called out. That's the only reason that you're apologizing. If it was not the school district that said anything about you having some sort of anti-black policy in the area of singing in the choir, you let it alone. See, I don't understand black folks. I don't see no other group of people writing a policy against their own people in the area of their hair. But leave it up to somebody that's shucking and jiving that'll sit there and do something like this. When are we as a people are going to have a little more pride in ourselves and in our community? Like, what does the afro have to do with that child singing? Nothing. Nothing at all. But he's one of those, obviously. And, you know, some people gave him the benefit of the doubt. Some parents say, well, maybe he don't want to rock the boat. Man, that's BS. That's BS. You're not rocking no boat at all by a child having natural hair. If that child go to school all day with that afro and nobody say anything about it, even if they did say something about it, that's discriminatory. And why is he saying something about it? It's enough our children deal with that every freaking day. Every year, black children are being suspended for natural hairstyles. And then you have a black man that's going to put out some crap like this. He ought to be ashamed of himself. Like the old people say, somebody should beat him with a wet rope. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this particular story. I hope this guy move on somewhere else or get checked. Somebody needs to holler at him in Cincinnati about that because, you know, you don't hurt the self-esteem about children in the area of their hair.